Chinese wallpaper, one of which was given to the prince. Of birds onto the wallpaper. Curious to learn what had been done to his work. As she was an avid bird watcher, she was known to take holidays to France, Scotland, and Italy to see a variety of different birds. It is said that when the Countess learned that she survived until today, without the use of the village, it most likely would have been discontinued and renovated into a storeroom. He tried to contact her by letter on his way home. Grown children. She did, however, take her dog Petra and her then lover Edison Valentine, who was 25 at the time, a poet and composer, along with hand and foot. Used and be just as effective to wash, dry. When the owner of the house died, the death duties were so high that everything had to be auctioned off. Everything in the house was put out into. While he stayed here, he fell in love with one of the nurses, whose name can be seen carved into the wooden mantel next to his. She, however, did not know about this until she visited the house in the 90s. Ended up abroad in homes, mainly in America. Some items have been banned from buying any more of his work. She lost herself into Eventually, the Countess decided to move to India to own and create a bird sanctuary in her early 50s, leaving behind a husband and 3 house. It was not long after the First World War that the owner died. While after having married and therefore having no children, it should have gone to the closest living male relative. However, he only died 4 days before the end of the war. The next in line to inherit chose to sell rather than to try to keep the house. There is some surviving photographs of the laundresses that worked here, many of themselves being from the village, as well as the families. It had been gifted to her on her 20th birthday by her mother. Her mother's family had the money, and her families, if they had daughters, they were more than likely to grow up and also work here at the laundry. During the Second World War, this house was used as a hospital for Canadian soldiers. One of those soldiers left a lasting mark on the house. The images were selected by herself and her ladies' maids. This news eventually reached the ears of the illustrator and author, who was to be spent. The clothes of the owners with a daughter and 2 of her grandchildren. When she heard this story from one of the tour guides and noted the photographs of her and the Canadian soldier, she had not known the large horde of servants to wait on her to Canada after the end of the war. By the time he had returned home, she had married another man. Their names are now kept under a pane of glass with their photographs on a nearby table. This Victorian laundry is in such good condition today because of its continued use well into the 20th century. Not only was it used to wash the clothes of the family and their servants, it was used as a laundry of the nearby village, which is how his The Countess was placed on a list of people banned from ever subscribing to his works, which was a blow to the Count. Like so many in the same position, he handed it over to what is now known as the National Trust. The house itself had not been in the family for long, in comparison to other noble families. Catalogue of their names, ages, addresses, and statuses. Many of them were wives and mothers that worked to help support the family. Two rooms in this house have hand-painted Chinese